Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, we will discuss to you the chapter 4, which is the feeding relationship, energy transfer of food chain and food web. First, how energy gets transferred in ecosystem. So we will start on plants. Between plants and sun, energy gets transferred through photosynthesis process. In this case, plants convert the light from the sun or the light energy into chemical energy that serve as their energy to live and grow. That plants use the energy of the sun to change the water and carbon dioxide into glucose. That glucose is a product or the outcome of the photosynthesis. So again, through photosynthesis, plants get energy or energy get transferred into the plant rather from the sun. In this cycle, how energy get transferred between producers and consumers. As you see in the picture, there is an arrow. So this arrow means eaten by. For example, leaf, eaten by caterpillar. So the energy of the plants transferred to caterpillar, the energy of the plants got from the sun through photosynthesis process is transferred to the caterpillar because caterpillar eat the leaves of plants and the caterpillar eaten by birds and the birds eaten by cat. So it means energy is transferred through eaten between organism from producers to consumers. Next, feeding relationship. Organism within ecosystem is interconnected by their feeding relationship. When we say interconnected, it is related to each other. So why it is related to each other? Organisms in ecosystem are connected in numerous ways. Some organisms may benefit another, compete with each other of their resources, and of course, eat one another. So, we have food web and food chain. The feeding relationship or the flow of feeding in food web and food chain is show how energy and materials are transferred between trophic level when consumers eat or the other organism. That when we say trophic level, it is the level of nutrition in the cycle. So we have pyramid energy. That is pyramid show the total quantity of available energy in the biomass of the organism that each level in the food chain of an ecosystem. So the flow of energy are from the bottom of the pyramid where we have producers. So the energy is higher at the bottom of the pyramid, but it decreases as we move up. Through the trophic levels, why? It's because plants use solar energy to manufacture their own food, and while energy gets transferred into another organism, energy is lost occur at each stage. That not all of the energy is passed from one level of the food chain to the next organism. In 90% of energy may be lost through movement or in material release during respiration. There are three types of feeding relationship. These are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism.
Mutualism is a symbiotic relationship in which individuals from both species benefit. The best example is between bees and the flower. In pollination of plants by pollinators such as bees. Pollinators collect pollen from flowers for food. In the process of gathering the pollen, they disperse some of the pollen to other flowers and pollinate them. Humans have a mutualistic relationship with many species of intestinal bacteria. The bacteria gain a safe home with lots of available nutrients. In return, the bacteria provide the human host with vitamins, help with digestion protections from harmful bacteria or other goods or services.
Next is commensalism. For example, some types of tiny insect called mites attach themselves to larger flying insect for transportations. The mites benefit from free ride, and the larger insects are unaffected. Various biting lice and flies feed harmlessly on the feeders of birds and on sloughs of flakes of skin from mammals. Numerous birds feed on insects and small mammals that are disturbed by large grazing mammals, or if farmers float. Plasmodium protists that cause human malaria and the mosquitoes that transmit them have a commensal relationship. The protists need a mosquitoes to get from one human host to another, but the mosquito are not affected by the protist. Next is parasitism. Parasitism is a symbiotic relationship in which an organism from one species, called the parasite, benefits while an organism from the other species, called the host, it is harmed. Many species of animals are parasites, at least during some stage of their life cycle. Most species are also host to one or more parasites. Some parasites live on the surface of their host, others live inside their host. They may enter the host through the break of skin, food, or water. For example, roundworms are parasites of mammals, including human, cats, and dogs, that we show in this picture. Adult roundworms clogging part of a human's small intestine. The worms produce huge number of eggs, which are passed in the host feces to the environment. Other individuals may be infected by swallowing the eggs in contaminated food. Next, on this slide, like what I said lately, sun is the ultimate source of energy like plants in microorganisms. Plants absorb specific wavelength of sunlight using the pigment chlorophyll to convert sunlight to chemical energy. I already discussed the producers on the first slide, so this slide is for review only. Some organisms known as autotrophs rather. When we say autotrophs, it is create their own food through photosynthesis. They get energy and nutrients from the surrounding, like soil, water, and air, that they in turn pass in the organism and eat them. The best example is plants. The best example as producers is plants. So on these pictures, the producers here is the trees. Why they are the producers? It's because they are live by their own. They live without consuming other organisms. Okay, these are the types of producers. Plants. Lichen. A lichen is a composite of organisms that arise from algae or cyanobacteria living among filaments of multiple fungi species in mutualistic relationship. Lichen have a properties different from those of their components organism. Next is moss. A moss is a simple plant and a lichen is a fungi. Mosses are multicellular, just as trees, ferns, and wildflowers. Next, bacteria. Bacteria are small, single-celled organisms. Bacteria are found almost everywhere on Earth and are vital to the planet ecosystem. Some species can live under extreme conditions of temperatures and pressure. The human body is full of bacteria and, in fact, is estimated to contain more bacterial cells than human cells. And then algae. Most algae possess chlorophyll. As primary producers, they use the sunlight energy to convert inorganic substance into simple organic compounds, and it provides a principal basis of food webs on the earth. Furthermore, they produce oxygen that is essential for heterotrophic organisms. Next is consumer. Some organisms known as heterotrophs get their food by eating other organisms. Sunlight energy is passed through the food chain when the producer is eaten. There are different levels, which is the primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, or ikatatlo. These are the consumers. Why do you call consumer? It's because they can make their own food, or such organisms are depend on the producers in terms of their food. There are four types of consumers, like omnivores, carnivores, herbivores, and decomposers. Herbivores are living things that only eat plants. Animals like whales, elephants, cows, pigs, rabbits, and horses are herbivores, as you see in the pictures. Carnivores are living things that only eat meat. Again, carnivore are animals that eat other animals. The word carnivore is derived from the Latin and means meat eater. Wild cats, such as lions and tigers. Sharks and snakes are the example of vertebrate carnivores. When we say vertebrates, it is a backbone extending down the back of the body. So, shark stand apart from other jaw vertebrates in having a skeleton that is made of primarily cartilage rather than bone. Snakes. Why it belong in vertebrates? Snakes are also vertebrates because they have a backbone running down their bodies. Also, their vertebrates alone for similar body functions as other vertebrates. While invertebrates, carnivores include sea stars, spiders, and ladybugs. Invertebrate is, you see in these pictures, a cold-blooded animal with no backbone. Omnivores are animals that include both plants and animals matter in their normal diets. Because of the wide variety of food sources, omnivores are also called all eaters. Example of large herbivores include cows, elk. These animals eat grass, tree bark, aquatic vegetations. Herbivores can also be a medium-sized animals such as sheep and goats, which eat shrubby vegetations and grasses. Small herbivores include rabbits, chipmunks, squirrels, and mice. Herbivores are animals whose primary food sources in plant-based. Okay, last slide is for decomposers. Decomposers are made up of the FBI, which is fungi, bacteria, and invertebrates, like worms and insects. They are all living things that get energy by eating dead animals and plants, as you see in these pictures, and breaking down waste of other animals. Decomposers are also used in industrial applications as oil spill cleanups. And that's all. Thank you.